If I told you I could see someone's entire life just by touching their skin, you'd think I was crazy, wouldn't you? I thought so too. For almost 20 years, I ran from this gift God placed within me. I was afraid of it. I was ashamed of it. But on the night of July 15th, when I touched the hand of a stranger in a coma, God showed me that some gifts aren't meant to be hidden. They're meant to save lives. That night changed everything. If you're ready to hear how God used my hands to bring someone back from the dead, take a second to click that subscribe button before we dive into the full story. By subscribing, you'll become part of a faith community that believes God still works through miracles today. Every single day, we share new videos of real people experiencing God's supernatural power in their lives. My name is Olivia. I work as a nurse's aide on the night shift at St. Andrew's Hospital here in Tennessee. I chose the overnight hours on purpose. Fewer people, less physical contact. Because since I was 7 years old, I knew I was different. When I touched my grandmother for the last time, I saw her entire life flash through my mind like a movie. Her childhood on the farm, the day she met my grandfather, my parents' birth, everything. My mother said it was a gift from God to comfort those who suffer. My father, well, he forbade me from touching strangers. After my mother died, I buried that gift along with her. I swore I would never again feel other people's pain coursing through my veins. But God had other plans. On the night of July 15th, an apocalyptic storm hit Tennessee. Winds over 60 miles per hour. Lightning striking like the sky was at war. The hospital lost power 3 times. It was almost midnight when the ambulance arrived. I saw from the window paramedics running through the rain, carrying an unconscious woman. Gray hair soaked, torn clothes, but no visible injuries. Found her at Lake Providence. Dr. Martinez shouted. Lightning struck right next to her, but she has no burns. Weak pulse, unresponsive. But there was something strange about that woman. As they wheeled her into the ICU, for just a second, I swear she looked directly at me, as if she knew me. For the next 3 days, no one could identify her. No documents, no relatives searching, no clues. The doctor said physically she was perfect, but her mind was somewhere far away. On the 3rd night, something woke me at 3 a.m. A voice in my heart saying, "Go to her." I tried to ignore it. I rolled over, pulled the blanket up, but the voice grew stronger. It wasn't my conscience. It was God calling me. I drove to the hospital in the middle of the night. When I got there, I realized I had left my badge at home, but the security guard recognized me from my regular shifts and let me in without question. I wasn't lying about anything. I genuinely felt an urgent calling to be there, like someone's life depended on it. The ICU corridor was almost dark, just the green glow of monitors cutting through the shadows. And there she was, Nancy Brown, as the doctors called her, sleeping like Sleeping Beauty, waiting for someone to bring her back. I approached the bed, my heart beating so hard I was sure the monitors would detect it. Her hands were cold, pale, but when I looked at her face, God, there was so much peace there, like she was somewhere beautiful, just lost on how to return. God, I whispered, if you really want me to do this, give me strength. And then I touched her. Instantly, I wasn't in the hospital anymore. I was flying through her entire life as if I were an angel watching from heaven. I saw Nancy at 6 years old, tiny finger-painting flowers in her parents' farmhouse kitchen. I saw her at 16, winning her first school art contest, tears of joy streaming down her face. I saw the day she met the love of her life, and the day he left, leaving her pregnant and alone. I saw her giving birth to Joshua on a winter dawn, holding him against her chest and whispering, "You're my miracle, my boy." I saw years of struggle, painting at dawn to pay bills, selling paintings at the farmer's market to buy groceries. But the vision that broke my heart was the last one. She was at Lake Providence that terrible night, but not by accident. Joshua had fought with her 2 weeks earlier. He said horrible things, that she was obsessive, that she only cared about art, that he was tired of taking care of her. Nancy went to the lake to paint her pain. It's what she always did when her heart hurt too much for words. And when the lightning started striking, she didn't run. She stayed there, asking God to take her pain away. When the vision ended, I was crying. They weren't just my tears. They were all the tears Nancy never shed, all the pain she kept locked inside her chest for decades. Olivia! Dr. Martinez came running in. What are you doing here? Her monitors went crazy. Doctor, I know who she is, and I know she has a son looking for her. The next day, I followed the visions God had placed in my heart. Lake Providence was 2 hours from Nashville. I didn't have an address, just a feeling, like an invisible force was guiding my car. And then I saw him, tall, dark hair, stubbled face, exactly like in my vision. But his eyes, God, there was so much guilt in those eyes. Can I help you? He asked suspiciously. Are you Joshua Brown? Depends who's asking. My heart ached for him. Through the vision, I knew he hadn't slept properly in weeks. I knew he was killing himself with remorse over the things he said to his mother. Your mother is alive. She's at St. Andrew's Hospital. Joshua froze. My mother is dead. She disappeared 3 weeks ago. The police said. She didn't disappear, Joshua. She was found unconscious during the storm at Lake Providence. No identification. She's in a coma, but God showed me she's waiting for you to forgive yourself before she wakes up. At the hospital, Joshua held his mother's hand and cried like a child. He asked for forgiveness 100 times. But Nancy didn't wake up. Not yet. Her vital signs have improved since you arrived, Dr. Martinez said. It's almost like she knows you're here. How did you know? Joshua asked me. How did you know my mother? It was time for truth. Time to trust completely in God's plan. Joshua, this will sound impossible, but when I touch people, sometimes God allows me to see their lives, see their pain. And he showed me that your mother can't come back because she's carrying too much sadness alone. She needs to feel loved before she can wake up. So Joshua did something beautiful. He started talking to her every day, telling her about his life, asking for forgiveness, sharing memories. And I stayed there, gently touching her hand, letting God use my hands as a bridge between two broken hearts. And then, on the 7th day, just as I touched her hand again while Joshua was praying, Joshua, my boy, Mom, oh my God, Mom, I'm so sorry. I know, son, I know, I love you more than life itself. 3 months later, Nancy was completely recovered, not just physically, spiritually. She and Joshua moved to a new house, away from painful memories, and they started a new life together. Nancy told me something I'll never forget. Olivia, God didn't give you that gift to carry other people's pain. He gave it to you to be the channel through which he heals that pain. And that's when I understood. For 20 years, I thought my gift was a curse because I felt others' pain. But that's not what God wanted. He wanted me to be his hands, touching the wounded, his eyes, seeing the lost, his voice, calling them back home. Today, I use my gift openly at the hospital. With the doctor's blessing, I help coma patients, people lost in their own trauma, families who need hope. I've already helped 17 people return from that limbo between life and death. Because I discovered something wonderful. When you stop running from what God placed in you and start using it to love others, there are no limits to the miracles he can work through your hands. If you're hearing this story and you have a gift that scares you, an ability you don't understand, a difference that makes you feel alone, stop running. God makes no mistakes. He made you exactly as you are for a reason. Maybe it's time to ask him, Lord, how do you want to use what you've placed in me? Because sometimes what we think is our greatest weakness is exactly what God will use to touch the world. And when you finally let him use you, there's nothing more powerful on earth. What gift has God placed in you? Leave it in the comments, and let's pray together for him to show you how to use it. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to True Faith Stories, because God is still working miracles, and your stories deserve to be told. Thank you for listening. God bless you.